The Biter. Once there was a girl named Lily, and from the time she was a baby, Lily liked putting things in her mouth. Right now you're probably saying, all babies like putting things in their mouths. But trust me, this kid was different. It wasn't just baby toys, it was everything. So Lily's parents had to get used to their stuff being covered in baby drool all the time. Lily's pediatrician told her parents their baby was teething, and that's why she always needed something to chew on. So Lily's parents just tried to ignore her and let Lily do her thing. But then Lily's teeth started coming in, and they were sharp, especially when she was nipping at their ankles. Youch! Lily's parents kept hoping she'd grow out of this stage, but she never did. When Lily got a little older, her parents tried to set up playdates with other kids, but they always ended in tears. Lily's parents bought a bunch of books to help teach their daughter that biting was bad, but the lesson never seemed to sink in. Plus, books were some of Lily's favorite things to chew on. She got special pleasure out of gnawing the book, "It's Not Polite to Bite." By the time Lily was old enough to go to full-day kindergarten, she didn't have many friends. Her parents were kind of nervous sending her to school because of her biting issue, but they thought maybe Lily's teacher could figure out how to handle it better than they could. But they probably should have given her teacher a heads up about Lily when they dropped her off for school. When the teacher bent over to pick up the chalk, Lily took a chunk out of her rear end. So Lily got sent home early on her first day of kindergarten. And this was a big problem for her parents, because they both worked from home, so they couldn't be watching her every second. They took her back to the pediatrician to see if there was anything she could do. The doctor ran some tests, and a few days later she called them in to share the results. It turns out the reason Lily liked biting things so much was because she was a vampire. And even though it was hard for Lily's parents to hear that, they were glad they finally had some answers. The doctor said the good news was that vampires aren't contagious until they're full grown, so right now the biting was more annoying than anything. Lily's parents didn't understand how their daughter was a vampire, since neither of them were vampires. But then Lily's mom remembered that when she was pregnant, she got bitten by a vampire bat, so that must have been how it happened. Lily's parents were happy to know what was going on with their daughter, but it still didn't solve their problem. They really needed her to be in school, but they couldn't send her if she was going to keep biting people. Lily's pediatrician said there was a special school where Lily could learn with other kids just like her. But even though the brochure looked nice, Lily's parents knew they could never afford to send her to a place like Transylvania, School for Biters. Lily's parents asked her pediatrician if there was anything else she could do for their daughter. So the doctor wrote a note to Lily's school explaining the situation. From the desk of Nisha Saad, M.D. Dear Principal Septian, Lily is a vampire, and vampires need to bite. Well, it turned out the school was great about it. They made all sorts of changes in the classroom, like putting the teacher in head-to-toe padded protective gear, and from then on, when Lily bit her teacher, it was really no big deal. They even made changes in the cafeteria, like adding blood-filled juice boxes next to the milk cartons, so Lily could feel included. Lily's classmates thought being a vampire was cool, so now everybody wanted to be her friend. And they all wanted to be just like her, so they started acting like her too. Of course, it was harder for the teacher to teach, with a bunch of kids clinging to her by their teeth. Things were going pretty great for Lily at school, and she had a ton of new friends. And now everyone wanted to come over for playdates. But then one day the pediatrician called and asked Lily's parents to come back into her office. She said she had read the test results wrong, and that Lily wasn't a vampire after all. She was just a bad kid who liked biting people. Well, you would think that Lily's parents would be thrilled to find out that their daughter wasn't a vampire. But Lily was doing great at school, and they really didn't want her home during the workday. So they decided to keep the test results to themselves. And when Lily had a birthday party and everyone in her class came, her parents felt like they'd made the right choice. Happy birthday, Lily! The